Title: I raised my daughter alone after the divorce. At her wedding, her father-in-law insulted me in front of everyone until I stood up and said, the champagne glass trembled in my hand, not from nerves, but from contained fire. His words hit like a slap. Did she even raise herself, or did someone else do the job? My daughter froze mid-laugh, her cheeks flushing crimson. The father-in-law's eyes narrowed, smug, certain of the humiliation he'd orchestrated. I didn't move, not at first. I watched him, slow and deliberate, letting the silence stretch. Then I leaned forward, voice low, calm, deliberate. Do you even know who I am? His confident smirk faltered, color drained from his face. Carry on with the wedding, I said, letting my calm authority seal the room. The murmurs swelled around us, but I stayed in my moment. I let him see the consequences of underestimating me. It wasn't always this way. I had raised her alone, every scraped knee, every late-night fever, every whispered dream. I had done it without bitterness, without complaint, because she was worth it. He, her father, had walked away when I needed him, leaving a void I filled with love and discipline. I never let her feel the weight of abandonment, never let her see the nights I cried alone in an empty house. My daughter believed in family because I made her believe. And now this man had the audacity to demean me in the one place I had always dreamed of standing proudly, her wedding day. I had seen the signs long ago, the veiled insults, the casual condescension, the way he subtly tried to undermine me in her life. At first, I brushed it off, thinking I was being paranoid. But the night I found the email, him orchestrating favors, hinting at discrediting me in front of the family, everything crystallized. Betrayal isn't loud, it's slow, insidious. Pain turned into calculation. I learned to watch, to record, to anticipate. My mind became a map of their weaknesses. I studied him, his habits, the way he underestimated me, the way he believed money and status were shields against embarrassment. I quietly amassed leverage, legal records, financial discrepancies, whispers of truth hidden in plain sight. I became invisible, and invisible people see everything. The night before the wedding, I knew the stage was set. The final pieces clicked into place. I didn't need theatrics, only precision. His network, his influence, the very threads he thought would protect him, I had touched, altered, exposed. And now, here he was, cocky, confident, in front of everyone he thought he controlled. I gave him time to speak, time to enjoy his superiority. I wanted the fall to be complete, slow, undeniable. Do you even know who I am? The question lingered like a blade. He faltered, lips parting, eyes darting. He was calculating his escape, but the room had shifted. Every whisper, every glance had begun to pivot toward me. I saw it, his power unraveling. The fallout was immediate. Family members, long on my side but hesitant to confront him, now smiled with relief, recognition dawning. The groom's mother squeezed my hand, silently acknowledging my dignity. He sputtered, attempting to regain control, but every syllable, every flinch betrayed him. He had underestimated a woman scorned, yet controlled, a mother who had become an architect of her own justice. Later, alone with my daughter, I felt the weight lift. She hugged me tightly, murmuring thanks, unaware of the web I had spun. She didn't need to know the details. The victory was ours in its subtle glory. I reflected on what I had done, on the cold perfection of timing and patience. Revenge is not about chaos, it's about precision. It's about reclaiming power without losing yourself in the process. And I hadn't, not a trace of regret lingered. Only a quiet, assertive satisfaction. I watched him leave the hall, humbled, diminished, a man who had attempted to belittle me only to be undone by his own arrogance. He had thought himself untouchable. He had not accounted for resilience, for foresight, for love's quiet fury. I turned back to my daughter. She danced in her dress, radiant, pure, untouched by the shadow he had cast. I let myself smile, truly, not for revenge, but for survival, for triumph, for the love that had been the core of my power all along. No one needed to understand it fully. The world had witnessed the outcome, and that was enough. Justice had been served, subtle yet undeniable. And I, silent, composed, unstoppable, I had risen. The lesson lingered in the air long after the wedding ended. Never underestimate a woman who builds everything with her own hands, who navigates betrayal with patience, and who executes revenge not with anger, but with art. I walked out into the night, alone for the first time in years, and yet unburdened. The past had been acknowledged, the wrongs righted, and the future untouchable. I had raised her alone, yes, but I had raised myself, stronger, sharper, untouchable.